Hello, and welcome to another fine edition of Culture Future Radio, where each week we sit there and tell dumb stories while picking apart the culture.
Oh yes, indeed. Yeah. It's just just another way for me to say things out loud that are now in the public. So it's like,
We're gonna
oh,
start tonight off with a bang.
are you really gonna drink a bang fucking energy drink? What time is it? Because we've been working on the fucking.
I couldn't even tell you. It is 10:35. Yeah, so we were supposed to go live at 10, and OBS updated while my computer was in rest or sleep, whatever the fuck you call it, and then it erased every fucking audio setting that I had, which is awesome. So I was sitting here trying to jerk it off and do all that stuff, and then I got everything to work, and then when we pulled you up, and then you couldn't hear any audio from YouTube and from fucking the intro.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
during the intro, you coughed, and it was so loud.
Yes. Yes. Because I don't know. I feel like my age demographic at this point, it's not like when I was in a band. It's like probably just like drunk middle-aged white women that dated me, and they're probably like, what is he going to say that we could just like use against him? Other than that, people are like, we don't give a shit. So
we don't give a flying fuck what he thinks.
yeah, I'd be like, I just say all this shit, and it's just like, also I look out and I just see like an empty gymnasium and a fucking custodian being like, shut the fuck up. Nobody showed up.
So what'd you do today? How was work?
Oh man. Well, I mean, I worked like a 15-hour shift the day before, had 8 hours from the time I went home to the time I had to wake back up. So I had like a very compact dinner, and I just like laid there for like, I don't know how long. It was great. Then I just, yeah, it was like not really eventful. So I guess it's great. I don't know, as long as it's not a negative, but it's all right.
Dude, I couldn't sleep last. Actually, you know what? I've been saving this just for this episode. So I couldn't sleep last night.
Mm.
So I jerked. No, I'm joking. So I couldn't sleep last night. I'm fucking tossing and turning. I finally get to sleep.
No, go back to the point where you were jerking off.
Yeah, it's called a nightcap. So
Lick your palms, kids.
everybody's done a beat and sleep. I don't fucking care who you are.
Yeah, of like kids, they're like, yeah, that Freudian slip's gonna have to get analyzed.
You know, after the first press conference that Trump gave, he walked into that bathroom and was like, sometimes I gotta do what I gotta do. I'm gonna have to do this. Secret Service is like, do you want to sleep? He's like, no, just watch. So I can get off. But, yeah, so have you ever had sleep paralysis or no?
No, I just have insomnia issues.
So I get sleep paralysis, like every so often.
Mm.
So it started with a dream. It was like that stupid, the movie wasn't stupid, but fucking Inception. It was like dreams within dreams that didn't make sense.
Inception?
So, insemination with Leonardo DiCaprio. But
ooh,
I ended up, I kid you not, this is 100%, I wouldn't lie about this, but I guess from reading about different, because I've been reading the Bible a lot more, so different demons and angels and all that stuff, and, Revelations. So
I'm sorry. I'm like still thinking about like Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm like, yeah, his new girlfriend. They're like, yeah, what high school she just graduated from?
But the last dream I had was some sort of like thing telling me it was like some demonic entity. I really just can barely remember. But my eyes were open and I was staring at the door, and that's what sleep paralysis is. So you see shit. But I woke up and I got myself awake, and I'm not joking. I started praying because I was like, that was the weirdest dream. I've never woken up from a dream and prayed. And all of a sudden, I kid you not, I felt the biggest chill leave my body. And I was like, I can't go back to fucking, like, how do you have a weird, maybe coincidence? I don't know. But how do you have something like that happen and then go back to sleep? And I was like, well, guess who's up 45 minutes before their alarm at 3 a.m?
Yeah, like, yeah, your wife would just get up and she'd be like, what are you doing? Be like, oh, I cooked dinner for the next 4 nights.
She's like, "What are you doing?"
And
I was like, "I'm gonna go do a nightcap. Relax."
you like broke some scientific truths about like you're like I vacuumed for the next 2 weeks.
Well, you kind of had a form of sleep paralysis because you told me years ago that you used to do the lucid dreaming, which is almost like sleep paralysis.
Yeah,
Once you have sleep paralysis and you know you have it, you can start to like get yourself out of situations. I've learned to wake myself up.
I knew a guy that was like, "Oh, dude, you're having OBE," and I'm like, "Order of the
Oh,
British Empire." I was like, "That's fucking great." I'd be like, I go in, and the Queen would be like, "Why the fuck are you even here?" I'd be like, Margaret Thatcher invited me." She's like, "Oh, okay." No, I don't know, but yeah, I used to like, but I was probably drunk all the time. Like, I don't know what the fuck. I just would just like sleep and like, yeah, like, but like being able to like control dreams and stuff like that, it's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know. It happens sometimes, but it's just like I never had anything like deep and dark. I do have like dreams that I've gone back to, like, all right, like dreamscapes, like a city that's like partially submerged, that's like completely destroyed. I've had over and across, even since I was a child, I'll have dreams about that are based in that like city, and I like am always aware that it's like a city that I've known since like my childhood. That's the weirdest shit. Other than the fact that I eat like 4 donuts a night because I don't sleep that well.
dude, the first time I ever had sleep paralysis was so fucking stupid. So I only get sleep paralysis if I fall asleep on my back because I really can't. Like I can lay on my back for hours and I'll never fall asleep. But
Yeah.
if I do doze off, it feels like I'm falling through myself. It's so stupid. So the first time I was sleeping over, this is before I was married, so I was sleeping over G's house. We were dating, and
Oh, hold
she,
on, dude. Nah, man.
so
Nah,
she had a
nah.
she had a
You
text
can't.
she had a textured ceiling. You ever see those? It looks like cream cheese.
The popcorn ceiling.
Okay, I always know it as texture, but I'm also autistic. But
You're artistic, you say?
I remember
What
the
form are
first
the arts?
the one on the spectrum.
Okay.
But yeah, I remember I like looking up at the ceiling, and all of a sudden dude, it's just like I felt myself like I was falling, and I couldn't get up, and I couldn't wake her up to get me up, obviously. So I'm like trying to like say her name, but I couldn't. So I'm like going, uh, uh, and all of a sudden, 5 minutes later, it evolves into me out loud going, bah, bah, and it was enough to wake me up. And she looked at me, she's like, "Are you retarded?" And I was like, "Yeah, I think so. I think I'm retarded." Dumb thing, fell right back asleep on my back, went right back into it. I was like, "Whew, thank God."
And she married you, man. I mean, she's a strong woman. Like, what the fuck? At least you didn't shit the bed though. That would probably be the worst.
I
She's
blame
like,
her.
I can't get that smell out of my head. That's a Kylie Minogue song.
I'd blame her. She'd be like, "But the shit's in your pants." I'd be like, "I don't know how you did it. I don't get it."
Dude, you know what though? Kylie Minogue, man, what a fucking career. I mean, she's like the queen of, well, no, Olivia Newton-John's like the queen of Australia, but Kylie Minogue's like really big over there. I mean, that's where she's from, but like she had a hell of a career, and like she did music here. I don't know. That was like 90s shit, but and then she survived cancer, so she's pretty tough then. I don't know. She's had like a pretty strong career, and it goes back to like the 80s. I don't know.
I've never listened to her.
I can't get you out of my head. That was like the big song. That was I'm not gonna sing it.
Yeah,
It's,
you know me, I'm an old classic rock guy.
yeah, who buries his head in the sand. Come on, bro. I know you like WBLI. You had those rub on
Oh
tattoos
God,
that
no, yeah. Why don't you? Let's not talk about WBLI tattoos, guy.
yeah, I could have really injured people that day.
I don't even know how
True.
you. I never even knew how you got him. You just came home with a fucking box, went poof, on the floor, and 1,000 temporary BLI tattoos, dude.
Yeah.
When I last visited Mom's house 2 years ago, I went to go get something from the closet, and all of a sudden I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I like reach down and I pick up a fucking one that was never used. Somehow it fell out of the box and in between like the baseboard, and I was like, what is that?
What the fuck? Dude, that shit was crazy. They were like on the walls. Like I just put them on the walls. Like I didn't even know what the fuck to do with them. I had so many. I took a brick and I fucking threw it like at the top of like was that Nikon? What is it? What theater is that? The Jones Beach Theater, the amphitheater.
I
I
think
was
it's
on the
Nikon
top.
now.
I was on the top deck, and like I was like throwing them down, fluttering, and people were like grabbing them and shit. So I was like, oh yeah. I took a fucking brick, and I was like, whoop, and it, like right into like the food court, and I was like, dude, if I'd like rocked somebody's head, like that would have been bad. Probably would have been
You look like
cops.
Mr. Burns throwing the fucking silver dollars off the roof.
I did, and people are like, "What are you doing there?" Well, let me answer that. I went to Summer Jam 2000. That fucking was the worst shit I've ever had to sit through. Seriously, that and like having a stent put into my dick for kidney stones, and I don't know which one is worse. I really don't.
Yeah, but how did you get the tattoos though?
Oh, so yeah, so there was a BLI van that was like parked with the logo, and I'm like, "That's a sweet ride." And it was so stupid. So I was like, so the kid that I was with, I'm not gonna say his name because we shouldn't, because it's not good. But he's like, yeah, he's wanting to look at it. So I was like, oh, and then I opened the side door and it was unlocked, and I was like, fuck it, let's take a look. It was like nothing in there, and it was like a box of fucking BLI rub-on tattoos. Like I'm talking just a regular box full. And I was like, well, I guess we'll take these. And I closed the door. Like it was nothing. Like when you act natural, you can commit some heinous acts. I shouldn't say that like that, but like seriously, like nobody questioned me. I was like, okay, let's go. And this kid was like, dude, what are you doing? I was like, just go, walk. We got back up to our seats. Like security's like, do you have your ticket? I'm like, no, sir. Obviously, I'm clearly holding this very heavy box into the fucking venue. But please allow me to find my seat. And I didn't even get in trouble when I cursed at Hoku Ho, Don Ho's daughter, and she heard me because everybody in the theater heard me. I was that close. It's pretty bad. I just didn't want to be there. Pink played, performed, or whatever. I saw Eiffel 65. It's all a backtrack. They didn't really actually. It was just these dudes prancing on stage. I'm like, okay, that's just a regular CD being played or whatever.
Oh, they didn't actually sing. They just
No, man, dude, it was all, and then so it got worse though because I think like Enrique Iglesias came out. Yeah, I don't know, and then Shaggy came out. Remember Shaggy, that rapper?
Bombastic.
Yeah, is he like Jamaican?
I
Yeah,
don't know.
but he was probably fucking born in
He
Queens.
was probably born in Wyandanch.
No, I mean I'm serious. Like Shaggy sucked, so he came out, and then they brought out Chris Farley's brother. I'm serious, dude. This nightmare gets fucking worse. Like peel back this onion. So Chris Farley's brother comes out, and he looks just like a
Kevin Farley, I think is his name.
yeah. He just looks like a special needs version of Matt like Foley. Like it's just so bad, dude. And he comes out and he's like, because he was supposedly the manager of that band. Remember that fake boy band? They had a song like "You Plus." I don't know, whatever, some stupid boy band that never went anywhere.
I'm
So
looking
he
up
was.
Summer Jam 2000. I'm gonna see on my phone. I'm gonna see if I can find.
I'm
the
telling you,
date.
this happened. This fucking happened. So this guy comes out and he like it's Chris Farley's brother, and like we're like, what the fuck is he? Like, why is he out here? And then the host from one of the jerky hosts from BLI, this fucking idiot white dude who just thinks he knows what he's doing, goes and starts kind of like trying to hang out with this Jamaican dude.
Was it a band called Together?
Yeah. You plus me equals us calculus. That's their. Oh God, I feel like I'm gonna spend a month in hell for saying that.
Yeah, even the Devil's Balls fucking cringed. He was like,
No, I knew a girl that was. I'm thinking about it now. I knew a girl that was obsessed with that fucking band, and like one of the kids in the band. This is sad. He got cancer, and then he had to go through chemo, and then he got into a car accident that killed him, and it was horrible.
Dude,
anyway,
Kevin Farley wasn't the manager. Kevin Farley was in the group.
like inside the group,
Yeah, he was.
where do they have a triangle logo? I shouldn't say that, right?
Dude,
What,
I feel bad.
what-
Could you imagine?
wait,
being
what
the most-
movie? What movie is Sylvester Stallone most famous for? Namblo. I just want some kids. I'm like, oh, dude, turn this off. I remember.
They drew
Dude.
first come.
Did I tell you that I tried to watch Brokeback Mountain?
No.
all right. I was like, dude, all right. So somebody that I was with was watching it, and I was like, all right, I'll sit through as much of this as I can. I'm being honest. Like, I don't like. Listen, I don't like watching a man and a woman having sex or anything like. I'm just gonna stop at that part. You know, I don't need to watch that shit. And that's just one of my things. I just don't like shit like that. And dude, as soon as like the guy heads into like the ranch or whatever, and they just start eyeing each other up, and then you start seeing shots of like the guy's ass and like tight jeans. I was like, oh man, this shit's too rich for me, Levi. I'm like, I'm not fucking out of here. I was like, I can't watch it.
That's like years
Like,
ago. Somebody had that fucking horrible
like
movie
2 minutes. I lasted 2 minutes in the fucking.
before you came.
I was like, I'm out of here. I feel ashamed. They found me asleep at the confession box at the church.
Oh, that's like years ago. Somebody had that really shitty movie, Purple Rain, on a garbage movie. But I could have swore
Purple Rain.
I could have
Purple Rain.
swore there's a part where he's making out with a dude in a barn. But I might be remembering it wrong because everybody was androgynous and shit.
I hope so. It's fucking Mickey free.
Yeah, and I remember like somebody I forgot who it was.
It's Mickey free.
No, I'm saying I forgot who put the movie on, but they were like, "You need to watch this." Oh no, sorry.
Who the fuck? Like,
sorry,
what?
it wasn't. It was Channel 55.
They had Purple Rain.
Remember that? Remember Channel 55 at night? They'd
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
This now concludes Purple Rain. But yeah, they had it on, and it was like, and then this song comes on, and I'm like, dude, Prince, like fucking, such fucking.
Yeah,
he's so garbagey.
Yeah, he's definitely a really talented dude. He's got some good stuff. He's just, dude, he's probably kind of lucky that I shouldn't, like, that he kicked the bucket, like, before the hashtag #MeToo shit, because,
he didn't
like,
kick the bucket, he just never took the elevator.
Oh, dude.
Oh, no, he never took the stairs.
What did he overdose? Like, is that what happened?
He had, like, fentanyl in his system.
I don't know, man. But, like, Paisley Park just sounds like a bad place, dude. It doesn't sound like a good thing.
Come here, baby.
I don't know. It's just that because he was so eccentric and fucked up and weird, like just willy nilly, like off the cuff. Like I heard, and again, like I guess I read this off Wikipedia, so it must be true. Wikipedia. I read this off of the Wikipedia jar. Honey, we've been using it on toast. What the fuck? Yeah, he was dating Carmen Electra, and like he like demanded that she like slept in her makeup and like woke up and like redid it. So I don't know if that's true or not. That's probably Dennis Rodman. Sounds like something Dennis Rodman would do.
No, Dennis Rodman years ago had a story about how he was gonna bang some chick, and she said, and I quote, "I want you to jump into my pussy." So he's like, I ran across the room and jumped dick first at her, and it hit her thigh, and I had to go to the hospital because I broke my dick. And I was like, what? This isn't fucking Star Wars. You're not going to get the lucky shot down the one vent. Like, that is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. But then again, Dennis Rodman looks like a fucking Streets of Rage character.
Yeah, I don't know, man. And, like, I would figure, let me just say, I would figure that Dennis Rodman is a big dude, if you know what I mean, because he is a big dude. Isn't he like 6'6" or like 6'8" or I don't know. He's a pretty tall fucking guy. I don't know. He's in the NBA.
For Dennis Rodman is the number.
But I mean, dude, the first time that you fuck a chick, dude, like she wants to make sure you're not gonna hurt her and shit. Like if you're like even like decent size. So that just story sounds like stupid shit. Like he just ran at her with his dick, and she was like, "Oh, I could take it." That's what happened to Fatty Arbuckle. Don't you fucking forget it. Actually, yeah, with Virginia Rapé in 1921.
Fatty Garfunkel.
Oh man, Fatty Arbuckle. Like, and it really didn't like. So yeah, that whole story's so fucked up. They like implicated him for like her murder, and this like dark, mysterious like madame of like some like brothel was like in like coached her through court, and like Fatty Arbuckle wasn't even like convicted. They let him go. But like Hollywood
blacklisted him.
They blacklisted him, and then he had to come back as like Will Be Goodrich. That was like his alias because he was able to work under an alias, but he was like heartbroken. He was dead by like 1930 because I had the William Desmond Taylor murder and Mabel Normand or whatever. She overdosed. She was like and Barbara Lamar. So and then Olive Thomas drank mercury bichloride in France in 1920. What the fuck am I talking about? But yeah, she was married to Jack Pickford. Mary Pickford's brother.
I was just letting you go off. You,
I don't even know why I'm talking about that shit. It's like I just go down these little like paths of like useless knowledge, and I'm like, check this out, and people are like, we don't fucking care. You guys want to see my pod collection? Like, it's like, fuck, you got all those slammers, bro. Pogs are like the biggest fucking thing in the world.
yeah, slammers are fucking awesome. Dude, Pogs are still cool. Like you
I
can't
never
go out.
liked them.
Really? There was
No,
Pogs. There was Pogs, and then remember the ghetto version, Bones?
yeah, but Bones is like a medieval. Isn't that like an ancient game?
It was yeah. I think I just remember going to church, and I think
Well, Bones was the original way to play jacks. When you bounced to like a ball or whatever, they used to use like old like knuckle bones, I guess. The indigenous people, I think so. I think you can look that up. I don't want to look like a complete moron, but are you calling me over to you? But I think they use, instead of making metal jacks like they do now. Well, nobody plays jacks anymore. But in the mid 20th century, before that, I think they used knuckle bones from from animals.
fucking jacks. What am I, a fucking newsie?
Ah, Shane, go over there and play jacks. Pick up a dime, Shane. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
It's really funny because I just said that. I remember Bones. I remember the pastor's son when we were in church. He had a huge collection. But then they also remember Sunday school. They had that closet full of games you could play.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I remember they had jacks, and I'll never forget this. I'm like 6, 7, and like somebody's trying to teach me how to play, and we're playing it. And I remember in my head being like, "This is the fucking dumbest thing I've ever seen." I was like,
yeah, I think
there's no fucking point to this.
You bounce the ball and you try to pick up as many as you can and like catch the ball at the same time or something.
It seems
like I don't know. I just never played, and I think it's like whoever picks up the most jacks like wins that round.
I can pick up the most jacks.
I don't know. Like, but dude, things were like simpler back then. Like kids used to play with like corn husk dolls and play hopscotch and shit.
Yeah, and then in the 50s, they would play with the periodic table thing that you could buy, and it had fucking isotope in it.
Oh, the like Gilbert's like Discovery like set or so. I don't know what the fuck it was. It was like it came with a Geiger counter or something.
Yeah, I think it came with tritium.
It came with something with uranium in it as like a sample, and it's like if you detect something that does this, kids, and it kills your parents, go out into the desert and call your local NASA dealer.
No,
and
NASA the Atomic Energy Commission.
Whatever you'd call and then so they were like sending children out into the fucking desert to look for uranium to like create future bombs.
They sent
that would in turn
out too.
Yeah, but I dude. So yeah, it's just like so fucking bizarre that they would be like, they knew that this stuff could kill people. They had already proven that it could. So they were like, yeah, so we'll just ask kids to go out and look for that shit because we don't know anything. It's like, yeah, you fucking do. You just fucking etch some shadows into the sidewalks of fucking Nagasaki, and you're gonna go and get kids and be like, yeah, we're just gonna give you guys
anything from the fucking Radium Girls.
Yeah, the girls that like, and then
did they get? No, I'm thinking of the matches. I forgot the name of the condition they got with their.
Oh, the Radium Girls. They just got like the cancers of the jaw. No, well, I don't know, but it was like cancer of the jaw.
You ever see the original matches were made of phosphor, and you would like the guys would put them in their mouth, and then they would end up with phos jaw, and they'd have to remove the whole bottom half.
Yeah, those Radium Girls, like they would just dip the the brush on their tongue and shit, and they'd paint their nails and stuff because nobody knew anything. Then they when they started getting sick, everybody knew something was wrong, and the bosses of the companies were sitting there being like, these women are getting STDs and stuff, they're promiscuous. So like, how many husbands or something believe that shit? And these women were like not also dying, but now they had their like person that they're supposed to lean on is like leery about them. You know what I mean? It's like, it was definitely a man's world back then. They got treated like goddamn shit. I mean, look what happened to the Triangle Shirtwaist Company fire. That's 1911. They locked the fucking doors on those girls. They had to like jump out and fucking die and shit. Yeah, it took years.
Like 243 girls, I think.
It's some huge number. I mean, I think they had to use like a morgue. They had to make a morgue down in Chelsea Pier. It's just fucking grotesque. But yeah, women in the workplace.
146 deaths.
Yeah, women in the fucking workplace, man. It's still It's still a fucking dangerous world out there for them. I mean, I don't understand how we don't have like equal pay. Like, is pay really based on fucking gender? I mean, you look at
No,
that, like,
there's equal, no, there is equal pay.
but you see it
Everybody,
in the news all the time, though. They'll tell you
yeah,
like
but
men are still making more money than women
yeah, and
for
then
the
the
same.
news will also tell you that there's a shortage for paper towels when there isn't, and then everybody goes out and buys it up. I would never trust anything the news said.
I still
That's
think
that's
it's
like,
harder. I think
I'm
it's
sure
still
it's
harder for
harder.
it's harder for a woman to like work
Pay
her
the
like
pay's
her way up.
the pay's equal. It has to federally be
I
equal.
No, I want, but don't not. I wonder, like, if maybe, like, if you quantified in negotiations, like, they would be more inclined to give a man more if he demanded it,
I
rather
don't.
a woman would probably take less.
I think it would have to be down to whoever's doing the negotiation because most men love to look at women. Most men will hire women at a higher rate to stare at them.
I
Guys are fucked up like that.
No, they'll do that for like lower ranks, but you know that, like, I'm talking about a position of trust. You know what I mean? Where like you're not hiring eye candy. That's where I think it's harder for a woman to get that position because then that's when they want a guy in there so they can get all
Maybe
close and shit.
maybe
You
20
know,
years ago, but not now. I mean, the
it's still
CEO of
prevalent.
YouTube now is Susan Wojcicki. She's worth fucking 800 million. Her salary is huge.
There's, I mean, there's definitely women in charge of shit. I'm not saying, I'm just saying it's still harder. I think for women in general, it's definitely got to be
Maybe
harder.
maybe by region.
Yeah, the only place that's like it's good for women is like Asheville, North Carolina, which that's actually like
You
I think
look
it was,
mighty purty.
yeah, but like wow, you guys are all so fucking nice. But like, we're just gonna disregard that cuss word. I'm like, all right,
She ain't even my family.
that's some like Kid Rock shit right there.
Oh God, what a fucking have you seen the shit he's been releasing?
He looks like
He's been
a
releasing these.
really weird, like a grandmother with a mullet.
He's just been releasing these songs like the chorus is like, and Joe Biden, fuck you, freedom, dude.
Oh,
It
he's
is
a conservative. He's like, is he
no,
neoconservative? Or?
dude. It is cringy boomer rock. It is so. It's like most people who would never listen to Chris Rock. The second he said Joe, like fuck Joe Biden,
Chris
like,
Rock.
Chris Rock. I mean,
He's like, man. I'll be like, whoa, what the fuck
man,
happened?
Joe Biden come here, fuck him. No, but fucking Kid Rock, yeah, like dude, he fucking releases these songs, and people who would never listen to him are like, that Kid Rock's not a bad guy. It's like, shut up, you fucking idiots.
I'd be like, this is a Bob Seger cover. Like, what the fuck? Like,
Dude,
yeah, dude. I remember he got all famous for saying what to. I don't even still know what he was saying.
nobody does. It's like Phil Collins to Susudio.
Yeah, he just was like, I feel these words. Like, what words are they, Phil? And he's like, you don't question me, you goddamn cunt. And I'm like, whoa.
He sent you a fax of his middle finger.
No, he's the kind of guy that like would be leaning on the controls while he's recording you, and he'd be like, they look fucking ugly over there. They fucking dog cunts. And I was like, Phil, we could hear you. And he'd be all like indignant about it.
Yeah, but
Fuck. He'd be like,
yeah.
I don't care.
Seriously, when like this is over, I'm gonna send you a link to a couple of his songs. You have to listen to them. There's that. Dude, I'm so sick.
Oh,
of that.
I know.
The fucking right wing, fucking boomer.
Oh, you're
people.
gonna send me Kid Rock stuff in the middle of the night.
That and Tom McDonald, another one, a fucking cringy rapper who tries to act like Eminem.
Who the fuck is Tom McDonald?
He's some fucking cringy white rapper who tries his hardest to rap like
Tom McDonald sounds like your NBC news anchor for your region. I'm Tom McDonald, and this is the NBC Nightly News. I've been not rapping.
I'm Tom McDonald. Here's what's happening in your world. No, but he just writes like every song sounds the same. It's like, and if you want to stalk my fucking freedom of speech, blah 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 blah, like dumb shit. And like, just go read the comments in every video. There's the same comment. This is
like rap that like seventh graders listen to.
It's rap that nobody should listen to, but it's like boomer conservative rap, and he's young. So like you'll see like all these old people who are like, I've never liked rap, but this fellow's really good, and it's like,
but I remember
why? Because he has your views in his music. That's so lame.
Oh, what was the one? Aaron Lewis, and he's like,
God, I went to a fucking concert last year. It was Korn and Stained, and I only went for Korn. And Aaron Lewis comes out and he does whatever dumb fucking hokey song they do, and then he's like, he's like, everybody hold up, I just want to say this is the greatest goddamn country in the world. But you know
Yeah,
what?
he's
He's like, fuck Joe Biden. Everybody starts chanting it. And I'm like, dude, like, I literally was like, I'm so happy Korn's going to come out and play. I went from being interested in the concert to sitting down on my phone. And I was like, he fucking
oh
ruined the
man.
concert.
I would have been like, you go on with that. I'm gonna go take what's called the longest piss,
But dude,
and
it's
been
like, I
like
want to
fuck
go to a
that.
concert to go fucking escape for an
Like,
hour or two, not to hear
yeah,
some fucking bullshit
unless
political message.
unless you go to see like Neil Young, like you know you're gonna have to hear some crap for a little bit. Where like you almost pine for like Bob Dylan's like I don't give a shit that you're in the crowd attitude. I think Bob Dylan's so self aware that he's like fucking completely overrated and like he just like plays off like this cold, cruel dude just to be like whatever. It's like the
Old
Lou Reed
man, take
effect.
a look at my junk.
Neil
It's a
Young.
lot like yours.
Where is fucking where the fuck is Neil Young from? He's always like talking
Canada.
shit about like Saskatoon.
He's some fucking
He's like, oh okay,
retard.
I'm gonna play the next song for you. It's called the North Star, and I'm like, oh god damn it. But he's like, but I'll tell you something about your president. I'm like, oh, okay.
I
I mean,
wanna sunk your dick. I want to do it. I'm
yeah,
looking for a dude with balls of gold.
Dude, Neil.
He sings like somebody got punched in the stomach, like somebody walked up and they're like, and he's like, I want to feel it. Oh,
No, he's. I mean, no. I'm not putting.
he's got
No,
like a couple good songs. I'll admit that.
no. Neil Young's got some good shit. I don't know. Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young when they did that comeback album, American Dream. That was like the worst shit ever, and it like destroyed like whatever they had left.
Which
David Crosby. Yeah, David Crosby just looks like a fat walrus. It's like always looking for drugs. He's always like, "There's got to be a way I can get high around here."
He kind of looks
what
like
the
fucking.
fuck?
He kind of looks like a human version of Yukon Cornelius.
Yeah, pretty. Yeah, he's like,
Yeah, he
no.
takes the microphone. He's like, nothing.
He's like licking his freebase pipe. He's like, roll back.
He's
fucking
the inside of it. Nothing.
Oh, nothing. So got to get more fucking free. What is that? Cocaine freebase? Yeah, cocaine. Oh man. Oh, I got a cocaine. I shouldn't tell cocaine stories from my youth. Some people will be like, "Oh, he's still doing it. He's still doing it."
Nah, you're not doing it. You could tell it. Who cares?
I remember, like, all right, I was. So it's like when I was like 25. So I was hanging out with these like two girls, and like we ended up like we were like, all right, let's get a gram of fucking blow. And I was like, all right, whatever. I know a guy, I could do this. So I do. And they didn't want really any. And I was like, all right, like, fuck you guys. Like, I'll do it myself. Like, I was like, I could do this. Bro, it was so crazy. Like, a gram is a lot. Like, especially for me. Like, I've only done it maybe my entire life like 10 times. And the last time I did it, I was like 28. Like, it's been over 10 years. Like, I would never now. I just don't think like my body's like would handle that shit. But yeah, I had this gram and it was like it just wouldn't go away. I was like, and towards the end of the night, I was like, what if I burn it? Can I freebase it? And I was like a scientist, but I was like, I basically look like Danny Elfman from Oingo Boingo. Like I was still like, and I was just like, they're like, what are you doing?
You look like fucking George Carlin in the 80s when he's like, why are we doing this?
Yeah, they ended up getting like something else and like getting fucked up on their own accord. So everything was wild, but like I was just sitting there like trying to. But it was fucking crazy. But I think I still had like some left, and like I left it in a coat pocket, and like just that was it.
If you leave freebase in a coat pocket every night, Robert Downey Jr. comes and leaves you something else.
He's actually got himself out of that shit, which is surprising. I remember when I was a little kid, he looked like he was gonna drop dead, man. He looked like shit. And he like cleaned himself up. But yeah, I don't do cocaine like now. Like first of all, I just don't need to be like in a rush any more than I already am. With shit. So I just don't want like something to like I'll drink some caffeine, but like just to like take it up to that level. Like plus the fact that like there's fentanyl everywhere. Like you just never know. Like even like a celebrity, like just what just happened recently, or what we like. I don't know if they confirmed that yet, but
yeah,
like I don't know. Yeah, there's like fentanyl everywhere, so like you could just end up like, oh, we'll just do some coke, and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna be dead, and then it's like, no, I'm good. Like there's just no incentive in that shit.
See, I don't have drug stories. I've never done them.
Cause you's a bitch.
Cause I'm a bitch ass motherfucker.
Bitch. Yeah, you were like experimenting with dudes, so
Yeah,
there
well,
was no
that was my high. No,
no time for pot. I've got to get some,
some
dick and
peep.
stuff.
I gotta get
Yeah,
some
I'm
peepee.
gonna go over here and get some peep.
You guys smoke that horrible homo shit pot. I'm going to check these dudes out. No, no, I just have really odd drinking stories like that one. The one time that I don't. I think the fucking. Remember when Four Loco was out?
Oh yeah.
Do you remember the competitor of Four Loco? Max.
No, because I hated Four
Max
Loko.
and
It's
Juice.
disgusting.
Juice was the other one.
Juice, yeah,
Okay, so
juice.
Max
Oh
and
my
Juice were
god.
like the same thing. They were that they would make your
I could
stomach
I
bleed.
could like I can imagine the taste of it. I don't know why, because I hated fucking Four Loko. I
You
just
don't mind if
basically
I
stay
tell
away
these
from that shit.
stories, right?
Yeah, I don't give a shit. It's just so
So
gross.
so I forgot what we were doing. It was like me, you, and a group of other people, and we're all
Oh,
hanging
I'm
out.
there. I
You're
was
there,
there.
and
Oh,
so we go get like a bag full of these things, and then
was
other
I
people.
was I dr- was I drinking?
Yes, and then other people go out and they get their own bags. So like we're all just sitting there fucking, but those things were 14%, and they were sweet.
Yeah,
So you're a kid, and you're like, oh, what the fuck is this? I
dude.
don't
Those
remember. I remember sitting on the back steps with you, and then everything went black. And then and then hold on, it gets better. And then all of a sudden, we're at the docks, and now you're gonna remember this story. And I looked at a boat, and I looked at you, and I said, I can jump in that. And I tried jumping into this boat, and I was hanging off.
Oh,
I hit my
oh my god,
and I'm
dude,
hanging
yeah.
off, like
Yeah.
trying not to fall in the water, and I'm doing this, and you're like, you fucking idiot. And then you pull me back up, and then everything faded again. And then all of a sudden, we're at Smith Point Beach. And I
Didn't
remember,
you and like somebody else fall in?
no, I don't, no, I don't think it was, I don't think anybody else did. Me and you went to the docks. Then we came back, met up with everybody else, and then everything went black. And then all of a sudden, we're on the beach. And I remember sitting there like,
I have spent more time at the beach in like rich people beaches where you're not allowed to park, seriously, like than I've ever spent at the beach in my entire life. I have been but that water spout thing was pretty fucking cool. That was worth it. But I've learned to like appreciate it more. But like, dude, the heat when I'm in a suit, oh my god. It's like 1910. That's why I always tell people like, "Oh, you're in a suit on the beach," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm dressed like it's 1910." And they're like, you smell like poverty, young man." And then they ash on me. And they put their monocle back in their eye, and you're like, "All right." And they go on the beach.
they ash on your testicles. They're like, take that.
Yeah, like, "Let me see your balls. Let me take my golden cigarette, my illegal Chinese cigarette
Yeah,
that
but
I got in Flushing."
But back to that story, yeah, I remember coming to, and all of a sudden we're on the beach, and I'm like,
Coming to what?
America, and I'm like, how the fuck did we get here? And then all of a sudden I wake up the next morning, and like 2 days later, you're like, dude, check it out, and I'm like, what? And you open this photo album, and there's photos of all of us hanging out at the beach, and I was like,
Yeah,
I was like,
I
what?
got.
I was like, what the fuck? And then there's a picture of me. You think you still have it? If you look at me, I'm just like, there's just nothing in my face. It's just a hollow retard.
I remember the time that like who drew on us? Somebody drew on us, and like we took our shirts off, and
It
like you
was you
pulled
and I
your
drawing on each other, and we went in trans makeup, and we went to 7-Eleven with dicks on our back, and we got
yeah that,
Slurpees.
and then yeah, I think Bridget took a picture of us like
Yeah.
at the Slurpee machine. Like that fucking guy was like, "Today is the day I die." It's probably like he probably thought we were gonna like eat him or something. I don't think anybody was in there though, but I probably wouldn't have fucked with us. Like if I saw
Yeah,
that,
somebody probably looked at me like,
I'd be like,
I was dating that dumb Italian chick at the time, and she saw that because I think the picture might have been on MySpace, and she was just like, the next day she was like, how could you put a picture of your butt crack online? And I was like, dude, shut the fuck up. I was like,
how is that
it was
sexual?
It was my
Yeah.
butt with a picture of a dick on my back, and then girls' makeup on. I don't even really even see the problem.
Yeah, we dressed in drag a lot. I used to wear. I lived in
We're like
Flushing.
Rudy Giuliani.
I lived in Flushing, and I had like a stripper that was a neighbor, a roommate, and like I was living with like my girl at the time, and like this lady was a stripper from the Bronx, and she got this apartment with us, and that was fun. and she I would like when she went to work, like I would just like try her clothes on and have like my girl take pictures of me.
What the fuck?
like, like, I just like I look like Linda Richmond from Coffee Talk. Like I had the 5 o'clock shadow. I'd find her sunglasses, like put on some like bougie ass shit, some like what you would think that like white women would wear.
I'm
It was
surprised you didn't. I'm
crazy.
surprised you didn't catch crabs or like something from fucking putting her shit on.
Dude, that one time she tried like banging me was like so crazy. I was like, we're gonna lose the apartment. Like we had to move out. It was so bad. Cause like, the girl I was dating at the time, she wasn't having that shit. And
Yeah, I
I was
remember.
like, I
Speaking
was
of
gonna be
pictures,
honest. I
speaking
was
of
like pretty
pictures,
honest about that stuff.
speaking of pictures, I remember years ago, you used to put hamburger meat on your face and take
Oh
pictures of
yeah.
yourself, and it looked like you were shot in the face, but you would leave them on. You would leave them on the girl you were dating at the time's camera without saying anything.
Yeah, it's like the first just like the first time like you got like really decent pictures on a phone. So she had like a phone like that. So she was like sleeping and like I grabbed her phone. It took like the fuck it was like chop meat and like just like and then I took like pictures of me just like looking like just like the glazed eyes. And like I honestly forgot to delete them though. Like I was just like looking at myself and I was like, that's a good one. Okay, that's cool. Like that looks like I'm dead. That one looks like I'm dead in that. Okay. So like and then she called me from work. I mean from school. Like she was in college. And she called me like and she was like, what the fuck? And I was like, hey, what's up? And she was like, why are there photos of you like dead on my phone? And she's like, I got to work. I saw that there was photographs on my phone and you were dead in them. And I was like, oh, whoops, I didn't delete those. She was like, they're really upsetting. I was like, at least I know you love me.
I was hanging out. I was hanging out with a buddy of mine years ago, and a mutual friend we said we both had was like he brought a fucking 1970s Oldsmobile, and he went to go. I think he was going to get the title. He had to buy a title for it, so he's at the DMV, and he calls us, and he's like, "Hey, I need a picture of the VIN. I don't have the VIN on me." And we're like, "All right." So you got to take a picture, and I look at my buddy, and I'm like, "Dude, look up a picture of a dude's dick, but put it above the windshield and take the picture with flash." And he's like, "Why?" I was like, I think it will work. I think it's going to reflect everything." So we take this picture of the fucking VIN number. And if you're looking at the picture really closely, there's an outline of a huge uncircumcised dick. So we are both laughing so hard that we're like, I'm not even joking, we're like spritzing piss on our pants for like 20 minutes. We're laughing, and then we're sending it to people, and they're texting us back. They're like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" So we're like, "All right, let's send it to him," and we send it to him, and we're waiting for a response, and then like 10 minutes goes by. We're like, "I guess he didn't get it," and he calls us. He's like, "Hey, thanks for that picture. I gave it to the lady at the DMV." We're like, "Wait,"
Oh
we're
man.
like, "What did you do?" And he's like, "I gave it to the lady at the DMV," and we're like, "Hey man,"
He probably didn't even fucking check it. He
we're
was
like,
probably like, all right, it's good to go. He
so
was probably like, damn.
So later that night, he comes to the house, and we're like, "Did you look at the picture?" He's like, "Yeah, it's crystal clear." And we're like, "Look again." And he sits down and he's staring at it for like 2 seconds, and he's like, "You motherfuckers!" And we're like, "What?" And he's like, "I gave that to a woman. She has a printout of it." We're like,
That's fucking sweet. First time I ever did that, they had those Kodak like Instamax, but not Kodak like those instant cameras, like whatever, not instant, but the fuck was it? Those like disposable
Max.
cameras. Excuse me, no. There's like some kid had the Kodak like disposable cameras or whatever, right? So we're like that. There's this Christian camp that we used to go to. We used to do anything but. I got some stories about that fucking place. So it's High Point Camp or whatever in Pennsylvania, and I used to love going there, but it was we were so bad, and like it was like super Baptist Christian. And first, like I remember the first year I was there, like this kid had a camera. He was such a dick. So I put the camera in my pants with the flash. It took like I used up the rest of his film, and I fucking just took pictures of my like prepubescent dick and balls. Like I was just like clock clock clock, strike a pose, and I fucking did that shit. Kid's like, who used up all my film? And I didn't say shit. I remember one time, like I was up in the fucking bunk. I was in the top bunk. Like I was like, I'm the king of the world. But the pastor's son, like he like took on another like minion, I guess. So they were like, get out of the top bunk, and I was like, fine, whatever, fuck you guys. I was like, just give me another chance up in the top bunk, and they're like, all right, fine, whatever. So I was like, all right, just we'll go to bed. Everybody went in their sleeping bags, and I turned the light on my flashlight, and I shone it on the fucking ceiling. And I put my head under the sleeping bag, and then like maybe I don't know how much time went by, but the one kid woke up screaming. He's like, "There's fucking bugs everywhere, bro!" I got up. I just remember peering out of this fucking sleeping bag, all these like green flies and shit, moths, cicadas, like all up in the top of this bunk, and they were like, "What the fuck?" I got in so much trouble for that. But the worst is what we did to the fucking counselor's laundry.
What?
That was pretty. All right, so I was with the pastor's son. We were like, let's fucking cause some mayhem. So we went to the gymnasium. It was like this old rickety 1950s gym, maybe even earlier. And like, we got bored, so like, let's fucking walk around and steal something. Why not? So we went into the bathroom, like the shower room, and they had a washer in there. So all the counselors would put their clothes like in like this, in these baskets and shit, and like they would get washed, right? That's how they wash their clothes. Like we probably got our clothes washed like in a river, but they had like a nice washer and dryer. So we fucking they were like nobody's coming, like nobody played in the gym. It was like dark and like shitty, and so we were like nobody's coming, like so we took all the clothes and we dumped them on the fucking floor of the shower, like this big shower pit for like molestation like purposes. It was like a post-lapsarian Greek fucking shower room. It was like fucking so anyway, so we threw all the clothes there. We pissed all over their clothes, and we grabbed this, we grabbed this bottle of bleach, dude, and we just fucking let loose. And we poured the bleach all over the clothing, and we turned the showers on, and we watched it fill up. We're like, all right, let's get out of here. Like this is fucked. And we get there, and this guy's like, hey, what the fuck's going on? And it was like some fucking counselor, and we were like, we don't know. And they were like, well, explain what's going on. And we were like, this kid John Peter, he just did that. We don't know why. So we were coming to get one of you, and they were like, "What's his name?" We gave his full name, and they grilled him. He was so pissed. He was like, "Why'd you guys say that I ruined the counselor's clothes?" I'm like, I don't know. And we were just like, sorry. They were like, yeah, they kept asking me if I did it because like I don't even know what they were talking about. They were like shooting the BB guns at the girls on the canoes and just waiting to hear the metal plinking. It would always be some like big gun-toting like Christian guy. And he's like, check this out. He would always bring like an elephant gun. And we were like, all right, so now that we're deaf, let's all get some Red Riders. And like we were like shoot at cans and shit. It was like part of like fun time or whatever. It was fun when you were a kid. And I would like wait for the counselors to not be looking, and I'd point my gun backwards. And when they turned away completely, I would like pivot my body and just be like, pop. Just try to shoot the. I would just try to shoot at the girls on the fucking lake.
You're a fucking terror.
Like some Lee Malvo shit. I was like, fuck this. It was bad. I never got caught though.
I think the worst thing I ever did at church, I don't know why I did. I was really little. I was like 6, but they just installed a urinal. This is when they redid the actual church. So they installed a urinal. So you walked in the bathroom and it was weird. It was like the sink to your right. Then there was a door that would lead to a toilet where you could poop. And then there was a tiny thin corridor past that where there was a urinal. So nobody could see in or out.
How come I don't remember that?
Because you were probably long gone by then.
I was long gone.
And so I'm like...
Backslidden.
So I'm like, huh. I'm like, that's a urinal.
Oh,
what happens if you poop in it?
Yeah.
Like, dude, I dropped fucking trow. This is in the middle of prayer service. So prayer service went on for like an hour. People are asking for their prayers. And, dude, I'm just sitting there with like my little... like. I'm like trying to poop and I'm on my fucking tippy toes like this. And like finally I just squeeze this one out. And then I immediately walk with my shit covered ass into the toilet. And I'm trying to wipe up. And once you stand up after you shit, you've kind of just
It's a mess.
Yeah, so I was there like just fucking ripping through toilet paper. And then I'm like,
huh.
I'm like, yeah, I got it on my palms. And then I'm like, I wonder what it looks like. And I get out.
Is that what they meant by Palm Sunday?
Mm. But I get out and I look in the urinal and there's just this fucking little chody shit. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
like I was gonna say, like somebody, like some deacon walked in there and was like, "Oh, damn! Wait, what? Wait, is that a little kid poop?"
but
You
dude,
know,
I remember leaving and then like I remember people walking in and out of the bathroom being like,
some
did
like
you guys fucking see that? And I was like,
some like preacher's apprentice from like a Baptist Bible college from like Florida, be like, "Judging by the size of this dookie, you must we would have to ask the Sunday school class." Like how awkward that would have been. Like, did you boys and girls, one of you duke in the urinal?
I remember we were in fucking vacation Bible school and there was a teacher there. I'm gonna say her name because I don't even know if she exists anymore. Her name was Mrs. McNulty. You might remember her.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh
so it was
man.
a class. She was teaching. She taught one of the classes. Like I think I forgot what she taught. This is fucking years ago.
I
So
think she was like in a like whenever I think she was there to give like the pastor's wife a break. She was
yeah,
sick of our shit.
maybe. But this was during vacation Bible school. So they always split it up in the morning. You got like two cookies and like Kool-Aid, and then
Oh,
you
I
would
remember
learn.
that
Yeah,
fucking shit.
yeah, and then you would learn you would open the morning with prayer, and then you would learn Bible verses, and you would sing hymns, you would do games and all this
What
stuff.
a yeah, what a great way to swindle us into like knowing the Bible. To this day, I could quote so much of the Bible because I'm like, I gotta earn those points.
Yeah, you got ribbons, dude. It was worth it. That was great times. I missed those, but I remember, um, there was a family that I won't say their last name, but the
What's the
family,
first initial? H.
yes.
I know
So
where
the
you're going.
family sucked, but
Yeah.
they had a daughter who was really little, and she goes to the bathroom. She's like one of the
Oh
only girls
yeah.
in the class, and she comes back. She's super little, by the way. She was, I think, at the time we were all in like first grade. So what are you like six, seven,
Hmm.
6? So I remember Miss McNulty comes out of nowhere. So the pastor's wife is teaching us, and she comes bursting through the door, and she's like, Anne Marie, like she didn't even go, she didn't pull her out and discuss it with her in front of the whole class. She goes, "Why did you poop in the potpourri?" And we're like, dude, I remember I was like, no, like, what little kid looks at potpourri and they're like,
Dude, I remember. Do you remember that? I was so like one of the things. I don't know if you knew this, but like that lady, so they like gave her that apartment in the back.
yes,
So she was like
sewage underneath.
she was like really like dirty and like there was always ants and shit like in the
Ants.
church. There was always ants in the church because of her unkempt ways. Yeah, she was gross. Um, that church though, it
I
kept
miss
me
that
out of.
church.
Yeah, it kept me out of a lot of. I don't agree with everything, but it was good. Excuse me.
I
Oh
wonder
man,
whatever happened to that lady.
she's probably like right now, like knuckles
Covered.
deep in a jar of fucking Skippy.
She's fucking thigh high in a pile of ants, and she's like,
she's
"Come to me,
like,
my pretties."
she's like, oh crud, I can't reach the peanut butter in this jar. I'll just use this stick of butter.
I'll just use my fist.
Knuckles deep. That's it right there. You got to get it about right there.
Yeah, that
You don't want to.
same family had a kid that was my age,
Yeah.
and that kid for some reason I don't know why he always thought he was gonna like try to bully me. But every Sunday and Wednesday when we went to church, he would always try some new scheme, and he would always try to get me with something. But like I remember the first time he did it, I don't know why, I just reacted by backhanding him. I was like, he's like, "You're a," and I was like, "Stop." But there was one time he hit the pastor's youngest son in the balls, and
Ooh.
I was like, "No." And I ran after this kid. Remember the big door in front of the church, that big solid fucking glass door?
Yeah.
So he went to go run in, and he gets 1 foot in, and I pushed my body weight against it, and I crushed his ankle in the doors.
Oh
And
man.
I remember for like 3 weeks, 3 Sundays after, every time I saw him, he was limping, and his mom's like, "You didn't have to do that." And I was like, "Yes, I did."
I felt bad for his mom. I felt like she was the only one that was like,
Well, the oldest son got in trouble once because he punched her in the leg to give her a Charlie horse, and I was like, "Dude, what type of fucking sick, sadistic shit?" I remember being a
oh,
kid
he
and
was
being
like
like,
he was like a sure bet to be a Columbine kid. You know what I
What
mean?
was his
Like I
name?
was
Eric
like,
Klebold? No.
yeah, fucking Dylan, fucking whatever.
But yeah, that family fucking sucked. And the dad was such a fucking douche too.
Yeah.
He just looked like a big mook. Like you just looked at him and you're like,
I just remember being like really misbehaved, but like he was like driving home. He's like, "You guys want to hear a joke?" And we were like, "All right." Like he's like something about an electrician. He's like, "You know what happened when the lightning struck the roof or something?" And we were like, "What?" He's like, "It was hot shit." And we were like, "Nigga, listen." I'm like, we just got like listen, like we like to joke and clown the fuck around, but we just got done with praising Jesus. Like, don't say that to us. We're 9, dude.
yeah, I remember he was
Like,
right. I remember he was wrestling his kid. Remember there was that like kind of it was like a little stage with the piano on it and stuff like that.
yeah,
So it
yeah.
was like
The
the
pulpit.
pulpit. So it was like I think it had to have been a Sunday or Wednesday night. It probably Wednesday night. And he's like wrestling his kids on there, and I'm walking past, and he grabbed my ankle and like tripped me, like thinking I would just like wrestle him, and I was like, "Fuck you!" And Mom was like, "Get the fuck over here!"
Dude, you
I
remember
hated
that?
that guy? I fucking hate.
Do you remember the fucking baptismal? It was like really scary. They like I remember like just sneaking into it. It was like this little like wooden rickety like
Oh, the tub.
yeah, but like the little thing that like led to it.
Oh yeah, it was, dude. It was like a medieval like hallway. It
It
didn't
was
even
like
make sense. Like the whole
you
church
expect
was modern, and then
like
there was just one
there
medieval
should have been
hallway,
like those sticks on the wall that are burning. Like you know what I mean? Like
torches and gargoyles and shit.
Ronnie James Dio comes out with a sword.
He's like, "So you want to be baptized?"
Well, this is a holy diver. And he's like fucking doing it. I'm like, stop doing that. I'm wearing a white robe.
The pastor's like, "We actually are under
They
contract. We
always
have
they
DO
always
here."
made the water super fucking cold. I'm like, whoever's going in that bitch is
Dude,
gonna be slain in the spirit.
I was always because I never got baptized, which I always regretted. But like, I remember like,
I think I did. That's bad. I guess it wasn't really a good thing.
but like, I remember like when like because they would remember every once in a while like whether they were going to baptize somebody or not, they had the window, they had that wooden slide window that they had, and you could see it. And I remember looking into it, and I'm a little kid. I'm sure it was only like
Oh, it was definitely like up
it was
past
fucking
you.
huge, right? Am I remembering
Yeah,
that wrong?
it was like yeah, because
It
I
was like
think I
four
went. I
feet, and
I
it was
think
a dipping tub.
I think they like baptized me, man. And I remember the water being super fucking deep and like I don't know, man. Like it was crazy shit. Like the pastor when he went in there, it was up past his like his waist and shit. Yeah, I remember doing it. Now I could in my mind's eye, it's like fucking playing like a repressed memory. Like, dude, I'm like, no, like, oh shit. Like I could remember just like standing there and just being like, I'm gonna fucking drown.
Yeah, I
I'm gonna
remember
die.
watching. They would have like you watch people get baptized and stuff, which was always cool. I always enjoyed that. But like they were like walking up there, and I was like,
I mean, what other place could you go to church and like after that you can go to the playground and prance on the dead like the dead body of Nathaniel Woodhull,
"Oh,
a
I
founding
forgot about
father.
that."
Yeah, dude, like Nathaniel Woodhull's like buried back there. We're like fucking shaking the stones and we're like, let's list the tabletop. And probably had like William Floyd in it. We're like, fuck you, bitch, open.
He's in hell, and you're like,
Really,
"Who disturbs me?
who disturbs me?
Who
Where are my
who doth go there?"
did they release my slaves? Dude, that's crazy. I wonder, like, dude, so I'm sure like William Floyd, Tangier Smith, like Nathaniel Woodhull, John S. Hobart, they probably all own slaves. I wonder if, dude, they should probably hit up the Step Squad and be like, yo, like, you guys should do something about this, like, protest it. Like, don't show up to any more like games, and like we'll take it very serious. But no, but like, I wonder, man. People just would like, no, man, fucking John S. Hobart like owned slaves, so now it's the fucking Miles Davis Academy for the idiots. They call it. Baba doo ba bow.
Dude, that yeah, I don't know. That graveyard, I remember one year we found because remember the church had the fucking the bend like this in the fucking in the fence, and you could sneak into the graveyard.
Yeah, yeah. That fucking somebody like the Hulk, like
yeah, it looked like somebody was just like, "I fucking hate fences." But
it was really like, yeah, it was like really like somebody took it and like bent it. I was like, okay, thanks for that because I couldn't have done that with anything.
yeah, I remember the pastor would never purposely cut there was the vines that grew over it, so he would never purposely cut them. They were always
Yeah,
honeysuckles.
yeah, it's funny. I was about to say that there were honeysuckles.
Dude, my memory is fantastic from a kid. Like from when I was a kid, I remember everything. But yeah, I remember we found 9mm shells on top of the gravestones, and I think that was like a. I don't know if it's not a military thing because in the military you either lay, I fucking forgot. I think it's a nickel or a quarter, and then if they're Jewish, it's a stone.
Yeah, when I was with, she's Jewish. She was the one to tell me about the stones. I do that though.
Yeah, because
I don't.
they believe you're supposed to return to the earth and stuff like that. So
Yeah, like at least your body does. We all know that. That's scientific truth. People are like, don't start talking about theology here. We just want to hear your banal conversations about nothing.
mm-hmm.
There's a show about nothing.
It completely is until we get that fucking audio working. Because I had videos lined up. I mean,
I don't listen. What I was gonna write music, but I was feeling a little like tired and burnt out from work, so I'll do it tomorrow. I blew my fucking brake line on my truck though. Some guy cut me off, man. And then I was like, he tried brake checking me. I was like, you mother, dude. I lost my shit, man. I was like screaming at him because I knew he had his window down, and he probably thought I was chasing him. But I was like trying to get back. Like I did. I grabbed my knife. I was like, if this guy gets out, like it's gonna be rough. Because like he probably thought I was fucking with him. But like, dude, I really thought I was gonna rear end this guy. And like at that point, I didn't know what I was gonna do to him because he would have been like, "Yo, what's up, tough guy?" I would have been like, "Nah, man." So it's like pretty shitty. And then I got back. I had to take the other truck. I got back and I could see all the brake fluid all over the fucking parking lots of the complex and shit. And I was like, "That's my fucking truck." I was like, "Fuck!" I probably burst a line or a hose. That sucks. Sucks ass.
It sucks dick. It's like
Yeah.
sounds like Danny Glover. I wanna come suck some dick.
Whatever happened? Fucking.
He's like 80. He's got to be 80 now.
Danny Glover?
Yeah, I'll look it up, man.
Nah, Danny Glover's probably like 75.
Dude, he was 50 when he did like fucking Lethal Weapon.
I don't know.
I'm Danny Glover. 76.
Oh, I said 75. So in your car, I'm going to.
Yeah, I'm getting too old for gay stuff.
How do you think I get around over here?
Oh, dude, by the way,
I'm new in town.
Speaking of Lethal Weapon, I tried watching the first one. What a garbage fucking movie.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I told you I was going to watch a new movie.
Yeah, because you don't watch movies.
Right. I know. I mean, it's like I knew Hollywood people from like the 20s and 30s, but I don't watch movies. I've seen Batman, Waterboy, Mousetrap, all the classics. Jackass. I say Jackass. I saw Jackass. Yeah. I don't even know. And then so the last movie I think I saw was I don't even know. That's it. Pretty much Jackass, right? Like I don't know if I've seen anything since then. It's like I don't.
Yeah, you watched one with me. King's Speech.
We didn't go to the theater for that.
No. We were really smart, and some Asian guy gave us a bootleg outside.
Oh yeah, he's like, dog, guaranteed to work. I'm like, all right,
and it
dude,
did. It was fantastic quality too.
He was smoking those illegal cigarettes too.
The colorful ones.
Yeah, the Asians with the gold tip cigarettes. They're like, oh, I'm like, can I have one? Like, they're just cool. Like, I have my own. Give you the whole pack for one. Like, yeah. I'm like, all right, dude, fuck off.
That was a good movie, by the way, King's Speech.
That was. That was Jeffrey Rush and Colin Firth, right?
Yeah, I think I can put Echo on, and then we go. He kept doing that stupid fucking every time we talked, and he was like, "And though Britain."
Oh, dude.
That had Helena Bottom Charter in it too.
Yeah, dude, you should come. You should come watch Jacob's Ladder. Will drop acid.
No, we should watch fucking Teen Angel.
What, that show from TGIF?
Hell yeah, man!
That show sucked dick, dude.
But it was about that kid. The kid who ate the hamburger as the first off, dumb fucking premise because he finds a fucking cheeseburger under his bed. And he's like, dude, how much will you give me? To his brother, he's like, to eat this. And his brother's like, I just don't want you to eat it.
No, it's his best friend. It's his best friend kills him. His best friend has a fucking burger, leaves it under the fucking bed like a piece of shit. Dude, this sounds like the fucking premise to like Toe Jam and Earl 2. Like it's so retarded. I'm sorry. I you know, not a good word, but so like he eats this fucking burger and dies. Like so instead of being like guilt ridden and like wrecked over his like best friend's death, like he just kind of like hallucinates and like this kid shows up in Fubu and like is like, yo, I'm not like I'm dead and shit. Like you ruined my life. I'll never fuck a chick and stuff like that because I'm 15. Thanks for that. Blowjobs must be nice. But I'm here to be your guardian angel and shit. So no grudge, no hard feelings. That burger did taste a tad shitty. Um, that's why I'm dead. And dude, and this went on for like several seasons.
No, I think it was only a year or two.
But it had to have been more
than
such
a garbage show. And then he.
Like, it really was how I explained
it. He opens the door. Remember? I
just read that at I read that at a TV guide.
Do you remember when he opens the door and then it's like black gods like you gotta go back and be a guardian angel and it's like, what the fuck is this? That was weird because that was the end of TGIF when they started getting all the really shit shows.
Remember Step by Step?
Yes.
It was like not even about the kids. It was about like the two aging fucking 1970s sitcom like darlings like being sexually frustrated all the time. Trying to like be like, when you go upstairs, girl, the things I'm gonna do to that pussy. They're like, Mom, Dad. And he's like, oh,
I forgot what else was on towards the end of TGIF, but I just remember
just you wait, Jezebel. You won't get to spank it in your motherfucking life. Kids, go upstairs before I fucking. I need to see your mother real quick over this counter. I'm like, Bob, should I turn this off?
There was such garbage shows in the '90s. Seventh Heaven, which the dad ended up being a fucking child predator.
He's like, I'm not a pedophile on TV, but I am in real life.
Stephen Collins, that's his name.
Yeah, his brother was Pat Collins, right? Pat Collins.
Sure. It sounds like a radio host from Long Island.
Stephen Collins is like
Pat Collins. I'm here to talk to you about
what did he have? No, what did he get caught with? The usual, the Hollywood special? Is that child pornography?
No, I think somebody found a court case where he got in trouble in his 20s and the 70s, fucking or sexually assaulting an underage girl, and he had to he came out. I think it came out during the Me Too shit. He was like one of the first casualties.
I mean, what is he like 85 or is he dead?
Oh, he's like
no, he's not.
Stephen Collins.
He's not. Stephen Collins is ancient, bro. He's got to be 80. He's got to be fucking 80. And not, he's probably like, all right, well, I've already made it like 25 million or something, so I'm good, actually. So if you guys want to cancel me, like, I'm just going to cut me a check and I'll be out. I'll live a normal life for a little bit.
75.
75? Oh, he's probably like, oh, maybe I'll make one more. Nope, that's right, I suck. Yeah, that show got too serious. Remember, like, the girl Lucy, like, her best friend, like, died in a car accident? I was like, why the fuck would you do that? Like, kids, like, really actually go through things like that. They don't need you to, like, fucking pander for, like, fucking sympathy and shit and freak people out. But that show was jumping the shark with that. It was pretty much shot. It was like, they tried to be like a Christian family, but like they realized that nobody fucking wanted that shit, so they like got more secular. And then Barry Watson, the oldest brother, he had problems, I think, in real life where he had to leave, so it was just like some instability there. But I guess they got who's the oldest sister? What's her name? She was pretty famous for a while.
Biel.
Jessica Biel or
Jessica Biel, yeah, that's it.
Right, yeah. She was married to Justin Timbercock, right? Sorry. She was, right?
Every photo of him is in a lawn chair just holding a fucking thickie.
He's like, why don't you come see my redwood? Are they still married or are they? No, right?
I don't know. I
nothing lasts. Yeah, nothing. Who gives a shit? I told you, like, the movie that I narrowed it down to, but it was 2.5 fucking hours, man.
Yeah, it's the average for a movie now.
What are they doing?
Movies are now like...
It's all fucking computers.
Movies now are 160 minutes, I think, average. Which is 140 minutes more than it should be. There's so much puff that doesn't need to be in movies now.
Yeah. I mean, dude, and so I looked at the superhero movies. They seemed as like, you know, as light as they come without watching like a straight up cartoon. And I'm like, dude, these movies are like 2.5 hours. Like, it's all about just being politically correct. And like, it just gets in the way of the story. And I keep reading like reviews, and I'm like, I don't want to jump into anything. I'm like, maybe I should watch a new movie because if it sucks, like ultimate cock, I could just like destroy it on like a podcast and talk shit about it. But I got as far as like Amazon, like they're like, oh yeah, rent a movie for $3.99. I'm like, all right, at least it won't cost me much. Like fuck it. At least I won't be going to a movie theater and getting shot by like some fucking like weird white kid. So I don't know, but 2.5 hours, I don't think so.
I think the last movie I rented on Prime was Dark City, which is a fucking awesome movie. Completely underrated movie too.
Dude, you know what was badass? I remember we got like Blockbuster gift cards. So I was pretty young. I was like 16, and I was sleeping over the kid in Center Riches. His family went to the church with us. I was sleeping over at his house. He's like, yeah, get a movie or something. And I was like, all right. So, dude, I just, on a guess, I was like, this looks kind of funny. Like, I didn't know what to get. And I didn't want to get anything too crazy because I've never liked crazy movies and shit. Like, nothing too violent, nothing too sexual. Dude, I ended up getting The Big Lebowski. Like it was like brand new but used, and it was like just within my budget to get like some snow caps and like a Coca-Cola. I was like, fuck it, I'll get it. And like I think we wore that tape out. So I brought it to like one of my other friends' house. They loved the fucking shit out of the movie. That was like pretty cool. It was like that's like the one time I've like enjoyed like a newer movie. Like that movie is actually pretty fucking funny too.
You know what movie I ended up getting with the Blockbuster gift cards when we were kids, and I ultimately regret it.
Godzilla does it down. Oh,
with fucking
Jack Black.
No, Matthew Broderick, Gene Reno. I don't.
Isn't Jack Black the fucking?
No, he's in King Kong. That's what you're thinking of.
Oh, King Schlong.
King Schlong. Yeah, Jack Black opens his butt and just gets fucked out by a huge ape.
A King Dong.
But yeah, Godzilla '98, which was like a cool concept for a movie, but then Matthew Broderick's the main character, and he's such a fucking worm.
I'm just gonna crash a car and kill somebody.
It's like, dude,
I'll
he was
apologize later.
Yeah, he was like, he's like, yeah, everybody take me seriously. We're like, okay, all right. I mean, like, you were in Ferris Bueller like 35 years ago, but yeah, okay. And he's like, yeah, cool. I got a new movie. And we're like, all right, cool. Your wife is more famous than you. He's like, that's great. And we're like, what's the movie? He's like, Inspector Gadget. We were like, oh, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Go kill people. No, don't do that.
Dude, he sucks. What a shit.
Matthew Broderick, he's kind of a cock. I mean,
he reminds me of a worm in a puddle. You're just looking at him like, ugh.
I actually saved them still. Did I tell you that? I do. I picked them out. I don't know. I feel bad. I'm like, they're going to drown if I don't do this because nobody else is stupid enough. And people probably are like, he's fucking nuts. So this is like into the mind of like a crazy person, like a cat lady. I'm a worm kind of, like, I'll just take them and put them in the grass and shit. I don't know. I feel like, what a waste. They're alive. And then they won't be if I get in the car and leave. So I saved them. I'm like, all right. I don't know. Like, if I see like a spider drowning, I'll even like just take a, like, you know, when you like go in the bathroom at night and a bug gets in the toilet, you know what I mean? Like, I will take like a piece of toilet paper and be like, I'll be like, I'm not going to dry your wings for you, Mr. Moth, but I will lower you into the garbage can. And if you can survive, then I don't know. So I live a very meticulous, methodical existence. It's difficult.
Yeah, but,
and hot.
So Godzilla.
Wait, did you really go?
Yeah,
did you go blank?
Because no, I didn't. But now I'm like thinking more about the movie because I haven't seen it in a couple years. I went back and rewatched it. Oh, no, 2 years ago I went back and rewatched it. I was bored, and I was like, "Oh shit, Godzilla '98! I haven't seen this since it came out." And I put the fucking movie on, and like midway through it, I was like, "This is the gayest shit I've ever seen."
Was it really gay?
Dude, it was horrible, and I like Gene Reno too.
Who the fuck is Janet Reno?
No, Gene Reno's in it, and I like him as an actor. But then, like, he plays like.
Did they go to the Janet Reno versus the Davinian Ranch?
But yeah, it's just like he plays like a mercenary, but he's like French or Moroccan or some shit. So like,
it's not believable because no French
dude. It's not. It's like every Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. They're good movies to watch, but it's like, you're the best commando ever. And he's like, yeah, thank you.
Like, Frenchmen are not brave. They're just indignant. Like, they're not brave. No, I am not doing so. No, that's like, they're like bitchy about it. It's like having an 11-year-old daughter in a uniform with a gun, and you're like, all right, we're gonna charge.
But yeah,
It's hard.
dude,
It's
just
hard.
garbage. He's just like, what are you doing? And you're like, this is not real. This doesn't make sense. That there's just some random Moroccan French dude, and he's just walking around the city putting spy gadgets in people's clothing so they won't notice. Like, I was like, what the fuck? He's putting tracking things on the mayor, and then they get caught. They get caught at the end, and like, I think it's the Empire State. No, it's Madison Square Garden. That's where Godzilla laid all these raptors and shit and all these fucking dinosaurs, and they get trapped, like they're gonna blow it up, and then they all start hatching, and it's like the worst CGI. I remember, like, when I was a kid, I was like, this is fucking awesome, and then when I went back and watched it, I was like, this is fucking garbage. Like, I don't get it. I think that movie did poorly too. Poorly.
They had Godzilla in 1985, right? With like, was it Marlon Brando or like Sean Connery or something? It was like,
It would have to be
I'm
Marlon
so
Brando.
fucking, I was so fucking serious. It had like some legendary cocksucker.
I think of an iguana from the sea.
Hold on, it's getting hot and I'm sweating.
Yeah, he's just not wearing pants.
He's like, oh my god. Oh, it's 90 degrees. They're like, we're in Alaska, you fucking jerk off. No, yeah, Godzilla 1985 was like really fucking lame.
I looked it up. I never heard of that one. The old Godzilla movies are cool. Let me see. Godzilla 85.
Versus like Mothra and like Rodan. Like swings shit around and like always like re-energizes by eating innocent people. Like it always opens up the train car and like eats like a bunch of Japanese trinkets.
Trying to see.
I guess, yeah.
It's all Japanese people.
What?
Godzilla 85, except for Raymond Burr.
Oh, it's Ray Burr, Perry Mason. Yeah, he was Perry Mason the lawyer.
And now he's Perry Mason the Dead.
Yeah, he was actually gay too, and he kept it a secret. Well, you had to back then.
Well, that's because he was in Godzilla 85.
Yeah, he kept the Perry Mason character going for years. He like grew a beard and shit, and he did that shit up until the point where he died. So he was Perry Mason for quite a fucking while. Even Ozzy wrote a song about him, which is probably so glamorous. Except Ozzy doesn't remember what he did like 10 minutes ago. He has the attention span of a paperclip, but I can't believe he came out on stage with Tony Iommi. I was like, wait, he's alive? Yeah.
Yeah, they took him out of cryo freeze.
He was wearing like those old like people like Velcro shoes. Like they were like, okay.
Yeah, but the Velcro was on the bottom and it was also on the stage, so he couldn't move. He's like, ah.
It's so weird though. Like I guess it would give hope for someone like me who's about to be 40. Like, yeah, you can go out on the road and it's not awkward. And I'm like, I don't think so. I'm trying to be self-aware here. No. Like it's so bad. Some of them can pull it off. Like Duran's still like really good. Depeche Mode's still really good.
Def Leppard, Alice Cooper.
Yeah, Def Leppard. I don't know. I haven't listened to them. I know like Motley Crue sounds amazing. Really good. Really, I recommend that everybody out there
I
goes.
I saw them over a decade ago, and he sounded fine. I watched a video.
Yeah, I know, but
He's like, kickstart me hard.
Yeah, I don't know what he's trying. I don't know what he's trying to do. It's like he's just trying to force air out of whatever's left.
He's got one of those like little kazoo fucking pieces stuck in his throat.
It sounds like a kazoo being like blown through steel wool. He's pretty shitty, and like he won't like stop drinking beer, so he has like that eternal beer gut.
That's straight up.
I got rid of mine.
Shit.
You stop drinking, it's gone for the most part. I mean, I am almost 40, so
I think he's a big tequila guy. He's a big guy in general.
He just is like very rotund. It's just like he has the Santa belly thing going. It's not even like pre Subway Jared Fogle. It's just like this pronounced belly. Like he's just bloated.
Oh.
He looks really bloated, and it's like fucking gross. Jared Fogle.
What a fall from grace.
I was gonna what a fall from grace, but I was like, yeah. Was Grace 9?
Probably. Yeah, everybody was like, Jared, he's gonna save the world with Subway. And then like years later, they're like, yeah, he was fucking kids the whole time. But you look at him, you look at the fucking guy, and he looks like a fucking.
Yeah, yeah, he definitely was creepy. He's like, because he wasn't supposed to be a celebrity. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't like. But then he got like really weird though. Well, who's the one guy? Like I heard an interview with one guy who worked with him on a commercial and said that like he was really strange and like fucking like just not with it.
I
And
don't
it
know.
was just I don't know. But obviously he's not with it. He fucking is disgusting. And now every time he moves into your neighborhood, you get a phone call.
I think he's in jail. I don't even think he got out.
I wonder if he put the weight back on since he doesn't have access to Subway's like amazing sandwiches.
Nah, I don't know. He's still getting footlongs.
Yeah, it's like I always tell the ladies like my dick isn't 12 inches, but it still smells like a foot. Or if it sure smells like a foot, yeah.
Yeah, he got a pretty good. He got a pretty good sentence.
Yeah.
He got 15 years.
For raping kids, that's not a good sentence. You should probably have like
Listen, for a famous guy, that's a good sentence. Usually they rape a kid and the judge is like, "Don't fucking do it again."
I'd be like, we're
You better
just
not
gonna
do it for the 5th time. How dare you?
yeah, I'd be like, listen, we're just gonna put you out in the Serengeti and let these jackals mutilate your genitals. Then you're free to go.
They should just do sky burials with them. You ever see that?
No.
Tibetan monks do it. They take like the other monks and they'll put them up on like they have like the sacred hill, and then they chop pieces of the body up so that the blood comes out, and then they let the vultures come down and they just fucking eat the bodies.
That sounds like you did something wrong amongst your community. Why would you want that?
Yo, can you imagine like a serial killer? He gets caught and like, what are you doing? He's like, it's tradition.
He's like, what? You've never heard?
You've never
Come
you've
on,
never-
let me show you.
You've never sky buried somebody?
I just felt like if like somebody got caught red-handed in like a heinous felonious crime, all they got to do, the cops like, you're caught red-handed, be like, yeah, sure, come on, let me, come on. Well, you know, they'd just be like, oh, he seems harmless. Gun away. You'd be like, well, this is the human body. Well, I mean, it's 20 feet long now. Since I'm still working on it, you guys kind of came unannounced. But yeah, you guys seem okay to me. Drink these drinks. I poured them before you got here. You're getting sleepy, you said. Yeah.
Dude, I want to make this shirt. I want to make a shirt that says I joined Heaven's Gate and all I got were these shitty Nikes.
Oh, I remember when they did that. There was like a
That
picture
you know
in the
that
paper.
website's still up, right? Somebody pays for it. It hasn't been updated since '97. It's still the original page, but it's up.
I don't see myself like going there. Like, I wonder what was going on back then in the minds of these screwed up, fucked up people that killed themselves. Like the Jim Jones diaries. That'd be fun.
Jim Jones diarrhea, and that was after he died.
Yeah, that Kool-Aid was fucking packing a punch.
Ugh. Dude, you know when you die, everybody you like you fucking release your bowels and shit. You know they walked up and they were like, "Oh,
Like, okay, we've got a problem. I can't go in there, man. It stinks too bad. I can't. No.
damn, yo, these dead guys smell like
No. No, it's like a you ever see like, I'm sorry, but like a Latino woman should no. You just, I don't know. It's fucking the reaction.
man. Yo, these guys smell like dude.
Like, no. What
Yeah,
the fuck?
They sent New York Rican people in to like clean it up. Like, yo, this dude.
Yeah.
This dude smell like dude.
Yeah, but like that.
Yeah.
That's like, it
Damn.
was like, if I know if I'm dealing with that person, like when I'm looking at them, like across from me, I'm like, well, this is going to be a great transaction. You know, when they're like,
About to hear some borderline racist shit come out of their mouths.
I'll be like, if you didn't, unless you were just catching your dentures, like, and you just did that, like, we can't do this business here. Like,
It'll
like,
happen,
yeah, that.
It'll happen to you one day. You're gonna look at somebody like, sorry.
No, I don't think so. I think that I'll stay out of that.
Dentureworld.com.
Now that crime's up 37% in like New York City, I can't even go to the Bronx anymore to like get food that tastes really good. That usually gives me diarrhea.
Indian food?
No, I love Puerto Rican food. Like, but the real, like, you go to the Bronx, that shit is like, they have this cart, this guy is there. He's pretty famous. He's pretty, I guess, in the community. People, he's like a nice guy. He like invited me in there and like showed me and shit. It's pretty cool.
He's like, yo,
Food is excellent though.
He's like, you know what this is? And you're like, no. And you're like, B.
No, it was just like lunch or I don't know, like I walked it like when I was like 2 blocks away in the car getting onto the Cross Bronx. Like I was like, well, I already forgot the name, so it must be authentic. You go home and like explain it to people, and you're like, it said something like Chinga, I don't know, tu madre or something. I don't know. Some guy Marty Cohen. Sounds
Marty
mighty Jewish to
Cohen.
me. Marty, it's Marty Cologne. It's Cologne, man.
Welcome to the plate. Number 7, Marty Cohn.
Yeah, I do that shit to people, man. That's the best, though. I'm like, yeah, I remember David Cohen. They're like, David Cohen. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I remember his brother Marty. They're like, Marty Cohen. Oh, I'm like, yeah. We're friends now, right? Don't stab me. So I do that. Or people that are hockey fans, I'm like, you guys remember Ty Domi? And they're like, yeah, that fucking fighter from Toronto. I hated him. I'm like, yeah, he had a brother, Sa. And they're like, Sa Domi? And I'm like, how you say it funny? And they're like mad at me. I have no friends. Like I just burn all those bridges right away. I'm like, you built the bridge for us. They're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm just burning it. Like I already got a torch under it. Oh. The wood's not even dried yet. Just like fucking
Jet fuel.
set it on fire. Like, see ya. They're like, okay. I'm not complaining. I should get a cat to
Yeah, but
complete the look.
you're also the same guy who sits there and convinces people the dumbest shit, and for some reason they fucking believe you. Like the time you told the one kid that they blew the White House up.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I called it.
He called his fucking family.
Yeah, that was great because we were like coming back from a gig, so we were like pretty drunk. We were like, okay, and I was like, I don't know why this seemed like a good idea, but I was like, let me call this fucking guy. He's an asshole. So they were like, okay. So I was like, yo, what's up? And they were like, the twice I got him, I was like, yo, have you been near the news? He's like, no, I'm smoking weed, doing nothing. I'm like, good for you. And then he's like, all right, so what's up? I'm like, yo, they blew up the White House. He's like, no way, dude, no way. He was like Keanu Reeves about it. He's like, I gotta go. I'm like, I knew what he was doing. He was gonna be like, oh, I'm the one who found it out instead. And then the other one, I was like, dude, I gotta talk to you. He's like, what's up? I'm like, oh, nothing. I was like, I heard some bad news on the news. Are you near the TV right now? He's like, no, why? And I was like, like, I don't know how to say this. He's like, well, dude, are you kidding me? I'm like, dude, they shot Obama and he's dead. And he was like, what? No. And he's like, all right. So he hung up the phone and then he called me back like a half hour later. He's like, everybody's called me a liar. I'm like, haha. And he's like, you fucking asshole. I was like, well, what are you going off and telling people like that? He's like, I thought you were telling the truth. I was like, yeah, I wasn't.
Do you remember the time that he was smoking a cigarette on the front steps?
Oh yeah, with the blue skeleton.
You fucking like, he's smoking like a cigarette and you take your phone and you're like, check this out. And you go right up to the glass of the door and he can't see him because the inside light's off, but we could see out, and you call him and he's like looking around, he picks his phone, he's like, hello, dude? You're like, I'm gonna get you, motherfucker. Who is this? Blue Skellington. And then we went back in the room. He's like, dude, fucking Blue Skellington's gonna fucking get me, dude. He said so. That kid was such a fucking idiot.
He was like, I'm gonna get he's like, he came running back in the room the second out of like 3 times I did this to him, and he was like, I'm gonna get a gun. I'm gonna get a gun and shoot this guy. It's funny though, because now he owns guns, so he was probably not joking.
Yeah, well.
But to think about that shit, he's like, I'm gonna get a gun and shoot you, because I was like, you look pretty stupid with that leather jacket on. He's like, how you don't wear a leather jacket, dude? That's when I knew I had him. Like, I was like, you don't think that this could just be me in another room, like, fucking with you? Like, if that had happened to me, I would have assumed, like, all right, I'm putting this cigarette out. I'm going to go inside and, like, razz the motherfucker. Like, you're an idiot. But he was, like, so hook, line, and sinker on it. Like, he so I was like, yeah. I'm like, you don't see that laser pointing on your forehead? And he, like, ran in the house. And, like, we could hear him running up to the door. And, like, he opened up my bedroom. And, like, we were all just laughing. But like we were like, oh, we were telling a joke, so we were like, it wasn't about him. So he's like, no, you got to listen to what I have to say. And we're like, what? He's like, some guy's trying to kill me. He knows what I look like. I'm getting a gun. And we're like, bro, I'm the blue skeleton. He's like, what? I'm like, I'm just fucking with you, man. You're an idiot. He was like his whole universe like went back into like place. It was like as if he had broken a bone and like some like somebody just like snapped it back into place or something.
Do you remember what you told him that I did to him? The lie you made up that I did to him when he was sleeping?
Yeah, don't ever drink around me because I will make you believe the stupidest shit that you've ever done. Like we had one guy holding another man's dick who was pissing. Yeah, I know that you teabagged him, but I had it it was so descriptive. It was like, yeah, he bent over you and he didn't know what to do to you. You wouldn't wake up. And he's just, what do you do to me? I'll tell you what he's doing to you. Don't interrupt me. All right. And he's like, all right. So now you're interrupting. Anyway, so I told him, I was like, yeah, he just bent down and like your mouth open. And Connor got his balls into your mouth. He's like, what? What? I'm like, I just, let me reiterate. Connor put his balls deep into your mouth. And he was like, you don't do that. Just don't do that. I'm like, well, what do you want? I couldn't stop him. He's a grown man. I'm like, almost. And he was like, you don't put your balls in another man's mouth. And he's like, he yelled at him in the house, and like everybody in the house definitely heard him. Like I don't know where this kid just like proclaims that. It was probably like right before dinner. That was so bad. Yeah, fuck that kid. He was pretty stupid.
Dude, I only miss just being able to fuck with him so bad.
Just to have like a human being that was like a droid. You could like program it to like get razzed. Like robot.
He used to want to record music, and he was like, dude, help me write lyrics. And you would write these lyrics for him, and he just would sing them. He would never analyze them.
Yeah, like he was singing about how gay he was. Like he wouldn't even know. He was like, I don't know about these lyrics, dude. I'm like, dude, trust me. When you sing these lyrics, you'll be swimming in it. What it was, I never explained. It could have been a man's jizz, but he was like, all right, man. What is it? Let's have a half-gay three-way. Any way you want to play two girls, two guys. Either way, it's you and I. So I had to like think of that shit like right on the fly and like hand it to him because he was like hanging out for the night. Like we're not doing this long-term project, and he just sang that shit like behind this like raunchy ass like really stupid like stereotypical like gay dance club song.
Yeah, he
like some like late 90s Cher.
All of his beats were like Euro trash beats that he thought were cool.
Like in London they call me a chav. They're like, oh, okay, good for you. Stupid. Yeah, he would just sing like the most. What was it? I found like what was it, like an urban legend of like
dictionary thing.
Tunga, which is so it's like it's a style of Brazilian dance, but in slang, it's gross. It's pretty gross.
Yeah,
it's actually
like discharge.
Anal discharge after like two men like
penetrate you or some shit,
or just after anal, I guess. So it's just whatever. It's whatever.
That spicy deli mustard.
Oh, dude, it's so gross. It's so gross. And so he's like, "Yo, I got this hunger, so let's drink that tunga." And I'm like, all right. He's like, "What is tunga?" And I'm like, "It's a Brazilian dance." Or did I make it up that it's a Brazilian dance? I think it's actually
it's a real dance.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure it was a real dance the last time I tried finding it.
The lines between fact and fiction with that kid were like, all over the place.
Yeah, I remember him proudly singing those lyrics, and I was just like, "You stupid fucking idiot, girl! I got that hunger, so let me get that tunga."
Do you remember when that?
Dude, that one's really good.
Do you remember when that Thai chick moved out of my house? Like, moved out of the house, and we were like. She left like some hats behind. They were like really like for women. They were for like women. They were like, what the hell would you say they were
basically
like?
Asian female fedoras,
right? And they were like in like
plaid
gingham
and shit.
Yeah, gingham and plaid and like houndstooth, like just very, very feminine wear. It was like I was like, "Yo, do you want these?"
Gaudy.
And he was just like, "Do you want these?" And he was like, "Are you serious?" Yeah. And like I'd drive around town and like you'd notice him because you'd see this moron with this like bright pastel hat. And I was like, it's fucking December, dude. You shouldn't even be doing this no matter who you are.
And then for some reason he always wore those He had those capri
capris.
pants that he fucking
Yeah.
really enjoyed, and he'd wear flip flops with it, so he really looked Asian from far away. You're just like,
Like you would just try to be cool with him, like at first, like for a while I felt bad for him, but like he was just obviously a cock. But like he'd come over and I'd be like, what the fuck is this? And he's like, what? I'm like, the fuck is this? He's like, what's the matter? I'm like, why are you in my house like this? He's like, what? I'm like, you're dressed like you sing for the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, he looked like such a moron. I was like, you're wearing red capris with like Crocs or like fucking sandals or whatever the fuck you're wearing. You got on like my ex girlfriend's like gingham like fedora. You're probably wearing some like androgynous ass shirt, probably some net shit.
no, he had
Like,
that really tight shirt that he'd wear, and he's like, "Shirt makes me look good," and I was like, "You kind of look like a fucking queer, but sure."
but like you're walking around in capris, like what the fuck? Like you just can't take the heat for like 4 more inches.
Dude, he's so lucky that he wasn't as old as he was in the early '90s, because he would definitely would have been in fucking Jeffrey Dahmer's shit.
Yeah, they'll be like, you're definitely a serial killer. They're like, why? They're like, well, we've had you like arrested for a week now, and your poop has human bones in it. And he's like, oh, god dang it, so and so. It's like I ate that kid on the way over.
What a dumb fuck that kid was.
Yeah, yeah, he sucked. And I remember like he tried to like hang out with the people across the street.
Yeah.
And he was like their lackey. It was so weird. And then like they got that one guy, like the wet brain guy, to like wear a fedora, and they would like try to like take him out to like places to like in public. And he's like really shot.
Dude, I felt bad because the first time I ever met him, because I didn't know that his name was what his name was. I thought he was just drunkenly pronouncing it. And then I realized the whole time he kind of just talked like Arthur. I was like, where are you going? He's like, I'm going to the store now. Bitterman, bring the car around.
I never met someone that like could drink so much. Like seriously, like from the time he woke up at like early in the morning, like he would like come back at like 6 tall boys and go back up at like 10 or 11, and like I'm like, what the fuck? Like you'd come home yourself in the afternoon, you'd see him go back up there. He must have spent like fucking $40 a day on like tall boys. Like,
I remember we had that fucking dumb neighbor down the block.
no, not a Mastic Beach.
The criminal one who liked to steal people's lawnmowers, and he'd be so high he would try to sell them back to him. But he got really, you know, fella. Hey, fella, what's up, fella? You got $1, fella?
Yeah.
But I remember one time he got I think he was still smoking crack at the time, maybe not, but he was really bad into like the shit 99-cent beers, like the stout, like what are they, the fucking Crazy Stallion or some shit like that. And then
Still Reserve, dude, and I used to drink Cobra. Fucking when I lived in Brentwood in like my darkest days, dude. Like, I mean, I was like just so down and out. I was at my worst. I was drinking fucking Crazy Stallion like all day. Like I wouldn't eat nothing, bro. It was awful.
But dude, he got more into the alcohol than the crack, which is a very weird thing. Like you think it would be you think it would be crack over the alcohol. So like he would just like he had eyes like he was hiding in the Congo bush, like those yellow eyes. And I remember one time I'm driving around the corner, and I'm not joking, he's just standing there like this, and he's got his beard, it's just pouring all over the street. And then he looks at it, I kid you not, he looks at a bush and he's like, well, fuck you too. And then just collapses, and his wife had to like drive and pick him up. And I was like, yo, what the fuck just happened? His wife's like, get in the goddamn car. And he's like, fuck.
Is he dead now?
I don't, dude, I'll be honest with you, I don't know. I know he went to he either got arrested or he went to a rehab in the city. I think it had to be arrested. He probably was arrested. But yeah, he was like, his daughter posted a video years ago on Facebook of him cracked out, rocking back and forth on the end of a bed like this. And I was like, Jesus Christ.
Why would she post that?
Because she hated him.
I'll say. Fuck, I never even met the gal, but I guess I can get behind that.
I'm going to check I wonder if he's still alive. There's no way he's got to be. Dude, he was bad. His eyes were yellow,
Yeah.
which is what, jaundice or liver failure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty much. Yeah, yellow just means that your liver's getting its ass kicked.
Every time I saw him, he's like, "Fella, you got another $1?"
It's like, what the fuck? Like, what are you, the Federal Reserve? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Are you really looking this guy up?
Yeah, because now it's good. I've piqued my own interest.
What do you think? He'd be like a crackhead would be on Facebook?
Yeah.
Like on the keyboard and to go get some crack and shit? You can't do that. Why the fuck would a crackhead have a fucking... I don't have Facebook. I don't smoke crack, though. I mean, I guess in my free time, I could take it up as a hobby. No. You're like balls deep into this fucking investigation.
Yeah, because now I'm really interested.
Who gives a shit? Like, who gives a... That guy was like... Shit. So who gives a shit? I don't. I mean, I don't hope he's dead. I just don't care. I don't even remember him really. I think I was pretty much moved out when he like moved out there.
No, you were still there. He was creeping back and forth.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Fucking.
We should.
Silly fucking guy.
Yeah. Man, I'm so freaking tired. My eyes are like burning.
All right, so let's wrap this up.
What time is it?
12:20.
Do. I get a lawsuit.
It's 10 p.m. Do you know?
All right, cool. Yeah, if you want, hit me up.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit you up right after this. All right, well, that's the end of the show.
See you guys later. I wish I had confetti. Do a little Rip Taylor. I wish.
Joe, check it out. Could you?
He was like a highlight. I loved his comedy. He was funny.
Yeah, he was cool.
We should dedicate this episode to Rip Taylor. Not like we're doing him.
We should dedicate it to Rip Torn.
No,
you boys trying to have sex?
No, sir.
He's dead too. He was like 85. That guy's fucking old.
What was that? Tip torn? It's like, that would suck.
His father was a moil.
Yeah. All right, I'll see you guys later.
Yep, it was a good episode.